Glory and praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Glory and praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. One does not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes forth from the mouth of God. Glory and praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. The Lord be with you, and with your spirit. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Glory be to you. Jesus moved about within Galilee. He did not wish to travel in Judea, because the Jews were trying to kill him. But the Jewish feast of the Tabernacles was near. When his brothers had gone up to the feast, he himself also went up, not openly, but as it were, in secret. Some of the inhabitants of Jerusalem said, "Is he not the one they are trying to kill? And look, he is speaking openly, and they say nothing to him." Could the authorities have realized that he is the Christ? But we know where he is from. When the Christ comes, no one will know where he is from. So Jesus cried out in the temple area as he was teaching and said, "You know me, and also know where I am from. Yet I did not come on my own, but the one who sent me, whom you do not know, is true. I know him, because I am from him, and he sent me." So they tried to arrest him, but no one laid a hand upon him, because his hour had not yet come. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. I apologize. There's nothing I can do. I use my phone to broadcast, and some people continue to try and call me during the broadcast, and that's why we have interruptions. And I can't help that, and I apologize. And apparently, there's no way to get the word out to them to stop calling. So it is what it is, and unfortunately, many times it's not even an emergency, but the emergency line comes to my phone, and it is what it is. So that's okay. In the first reading today, we hear how people get ticked off when you tell them, try and live a good life. And sometimes you don't even have to tell them to try and live a good life, but just by your very fact of living a good life. Now, you have to remember that the Book of Wisdom was written many years before Christ himself. Okay? 1,000 years. We're 2,000 years after Christ. And guess what? That's probably the central reason why Christians are persecuted today. Because we stand for something that the rest of the world would rather choose to ignore. We stand for living the truth. We stand because we set ourselves up against the way the rest of the world lives. Those of us who are trying to live the Christian life, and not Christian in the name only, unfortunately there are many of them who give scandal to the name of Christian, who say, "I'm Christian," but then go off and support abortion, who say, "I'm Christian," and then go off and say, well, sex outside of marriage, not a problem. Divorce, remarriage, divorce, remarriage, divorce, remarriage, not a problem. There's a reason why Christians teach what they teach. We didn't get it from ourselves, we got it from the Lord. And so when we try and live as the Lord asks us to live, we should look different than the rest of the world. Not because we want to look different from the rest of the world, we love the rest of the world to look like us. But they're not there yet. But we are called to be the leaven. So, as an example, if all of your friends are going out and breaking the curfew, or whatever you want to call it, stay home, stay safe, whatever it is, you as a Christian, it's your job to stay home. Try and give a good example. Don't say, well, I want to go see my girlfriend, I'm not going to drive my car, I'm going to go walk over, I'm going to ride my bike, I'm going to go do something like that. No. See, because the thing is, if you go see your girlfriend and his mom or dad were out working somewhere, and they got sick and brought it home. She's sick, so now she gave it to you, now you're bringing it back to your house, and we've just ruined that whole idea of the quarantine. We need to stand up and do what's right. Your girlfriend, God willing, will be there 3 weeks from now. If she isn't, she probably wasn't your girlfriend to begin with. Okay? So, offer it up. Those of us of a certain generation, remember when we used to hear that from our parents all the time. Offer it up. Right? As I mentioned at the beginning of Mass today, I heard some sad but expected news. It would be completely unexpected with the 300 and some odd priests that we have in the Archdiocese that while we are, especially here in Detroit and Wayne County, the epicenter of this area disease here in Michigan, that none of the priests would contract. Because we're in contact with so many people, even though we try and stay in. Later today, I will be placing up on the web, after I have it translated by my translator, a letter that we received from through the Archdiocese, from the head chaplain at Beaumont, telling us as priests what we should and shouldn't do. You know, we're trying to serve you, and we're trying to do the best we can, but we need everybody to do their part. Now, we can't live in fear. That's not what we're called to do. We're called to be joyful. We're called to be hopeful. But we're called to be prudent as well. Okay? So we need to do our part to try and isolate it. But the other thing that we have to remember is just as Jesus here in the end of last sentence of the Gospel. So they tried to arrest him, but no one laid a hand on him because his hour had not yet come. We see people who will fall ill and they have pre-existing conditions and we think they're going to die and they survive. Their hour has not yet come. By the same token, we see young people that we never would have expected, didn't have underlying conditions, fall ill and die. What we need to do is live in faith. Walk in faith, not in fear. Do our best that we can. Those who are not considered essential employees, stay home. Other than checking on, somebody who needs to be checked on. An older person, a relative, somebody you need to bring food to, stay home. Or, if you are going to go see your girlfriend, make sure that you're standing those 6 feet apart, and you could do that just by staying home to begin with. But whatever it is, we need to do it with love. The overriding rule should be love. Love of your neighbor, love of the Lord. Think of the people, even if you think I can't get sick. All of my family is relatively young. Grandma and Grandpa are living in another state. They're going to be fine. Think of the people who are in economic hardship as we continue to have to be isolated because people are not staying where they should. Think of the people that will get sick. So I just ask you to be that example, just as a Christian is supposed to be with the rest of their everyday life. Live the way we're called to live. Follow authority when it is morally just. And so, my brothers and sisters, let us thank the Lord, for our hour has not yet come. Let us ask Him to continue to bless us and protect us, and let us do our part to protect ourselves and others. God bless you. God love you. God keep you.